The hidden dangers behind porn that is not openly talked about enough in our society today. And in today's video, I do want to bring light on the impacts that it will have on a man's life when his sexual energy is not controllable to him. Have you ever wondered what the impacts of watching porn on a day-to-day, weekly, monthly basis is having in your personal life? Not only with yourself as a man, but also the impacts it could be having on your romantic relationships to the things that are outside of yourself. Ponder that question if you've ever actually, after closing the computer screen or your phone, why am I doing this? What am I getting out of it? And what is the emotional body's reaction after I close the screen? Because for the majority of people after watching porn, there's a level of disturbance in the body. The body telling them that what they just didn't feel right. Although, our pleasure systems can get activated beforehand, which can make us highly persuadable by our sexual energy, which is very powerful, which is why it's so important for a man to gain control of his sexual life force energy in order to be his highest version, highest expression of himself and the masculinity that ultimately will lead his life. Now, if porn is something that's been a constant go-to for you when it comes to either numbing a certain emotion, gaining some sort of human connection out of watching two people or however many people having sexual intercourse, maybe it's loneliness in your life, or maybe it's an unconscious behavior that you have developed since childhood, because a lot of men actually start watching porn as a young child, and that's where they learn about their sexuality and also their first interactions with seeing a woman interact in her sexual expression on a computer screen that is fake and is scripted and that has no actual element of human connection in what you are watching. So it's creating a level of fantasy in, a young person's developing brain of what they perceive sex to be. And with that can create a lot of disturbances, not only in your sexual relationships, but also how you perceive yourself during the act of sex. Feeling like you need to reenact whatever you've been watching for years and years. Not understanding that a woman's needs in the bedroom is not actually expressed through what you watch on porn. And that's not really what I want to get into today is a woman's, needs in the bedroom. It's more so highlighting your consumption of porn. And, I stated the initial question in today's video is what is it basically providing in your life? And I wanted to highlight on the emotions that you guys feel after you close the screen. Because the shame lingers. It lingers on within a man's life that can actually hold him back from a lot of his power, purpose, and ultimately finding himself a healthy relationship that isn't based on sex. Now, obviously, you guys, we live in a very overly sexualized society today where we have our young daughters, young teenage girls showcasing themselves in a very provocative way on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. And this is something that's altering a person's perception of what a woman is. Now it's just being objectified, not even by the men, it's by the women actually allowing themselves to objectify themselves to gain a sense of validation that they are good enough. We as a human collective all can relate on a deep-rooted sense of unworthiness here. Like we are not worthy just as we are. We have to perform in a certain way. We have to do certain things. We have to be someone that we are not to gain some sense of identity from another person. But with that, we are actually losing our very own uniqueness in the act of falling stray of the inner guidance that is speaking to you, that voice when you close your computer screen, that is your guidance saying something is not right. And ultimately, a lot of people will ignore these voices, not even just when it comes to porn. It could be the voice of maybe you not showing up for yourself in the ways that you need to, or your purpose, your family, habits, etc. there's this initial voice that comes online reminding us that we are off our highest path. And we get to choose the life we live. We get to choose what we participate in. And I want to bring forth a purposeful video actually allowing you guys not to feel victimized by your computer screen or what you participate in, and allowing your guys' shame to build. In this video, I want to give you guys the opportunity to create some sense of purpose out of what porn has done to your life. So if you feel like you have zero human connection, you're addicted to dopamine, lust takes over your life and your relationships, you have leaky sexual energy, this is something that can be the very cause of the motivation you can actually ignite within yourself. If you have a strong enough desire to get out of any situation right now you're in, or habit or addiction, etc., that's a lot of fuel and passion behind your very victimization you could be allowing yourself to fall into. By actually choosing the different route, allowing this to provide purpose in a man's life, by giving him the sense of creating out of his very own disempowerment. A man who watches two people having sex is going to feel disempowered afterwards because you have not accomplished anything. Although your dopamine may make you think that you just accomplished getting a woman and pursuing the woman to the extent of sexual intercourse, it's a lie. Because what you just did is you typed in whatever gets you going, and there's zero accomplishment in that, which is making men lazy and having a wrong idea of what a woman actually provides in his life, which isn't just sex. And a man who only thinks that way within his animalistic brain, his urges, that a woman needs to perform in the ways that these porn stars do, you will be setting yourself up for failure in a lot of the relationships you get yourself into. Because a woman is not a performance monkey. And with the increasing amount of porn consumption, you could be desensitizing yourself to an actual human being in front of you, naked in her essence. That could not turn you on because she's not acting in the ways that these porn stars do, which is so twisted and flawed, because a woman who you actually get to have a life with, she deserves your 100% attention in the bedroom, not your brain wandering off in different scenes you watched yesterday because she herself can't get you off. Why? Because you can't get yourself off your ass and making new habits for yourself that will actually be a benefit to your life, actually add value to your life. Instead of allowing humanity to decrease its sacredness by even allowing these sites online. These sites should be illegal. I don't think that any of these sites should be up and legalized for consumption of not only men, women, but children. It's sick and it's twisted, and there's so much disturbance behind porn that's not only abusive, toxic, but also a result of slavery, sexual slavery, that is keeping women especially entrapped within what a man's false idea of her is, which actually allows these women not only to be victimized by your very own weakness of your mind, giving you the opportunity to give these women even further validation that will keep them enslaved within the type of women you don't even want to see in this world. So if you are complaining about the type of women in today's society, how they're sexualized, overly sexual, provocative, whatever you label women as, but you're still participating in giving these types of women a career, whether it be on porn sites, OnlyFans, chat rooms, etc., you are a part of the problem. And I'm coming off as really harsh and truthful because this is what will penetrate the illusions that are put up to keep you entrapped within your very own sense of slavery you keep yourself in. If you watch porn and you're settling for that because you don't believe that there's any good woman out there, there will never be a good woman coming into your life. Why? You're actually blocking her. You're blocking her because you yourself are addicted to short-term pleasure. And a real-life woman can only provide you with short-term pleasure for so long until ultimately you are dissatisfied by a human. So Do what you will with today's video. I hope it awoken parts of you, parts of your truth that perhaps have been hidden under the very things you tell yourself that it's okay and that porn is normal, because it really is not. If you had a daughter and you knew that she was doing porn or any of this, why are you allowing other people's daughters to have a job out of your very own consumption of it that keeps them going, keeps these sites going? A tremendous purpose men have in today's society is knowing what their sexual energy is, who they are, and how it's correlated to your very own life force, which is your energetic blueprint. The energetic blueprint that will actually guide you when you have enough energy and fuel in your tank to start creating the life of your desires, your dreams, and actually maybe attracting a woman in your life. But you need to go on a cleanse from the over-sexualization you have been feeding yourself perhaps for far too long, and understanding it will result in you never being pleased by any human because you are choosing the fantasy instead of reality. So if you guys are needing any one-on-one assistance when it comes to overcoming your porn addiction or porn consumption, I do offer one-on-one coaching on this topic in particular and would love to assist you. My email is down below, so please feel free to reach out to me and I would love to hear from you. If you guys liked today's video, please give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and share it with a friend if they need to hear this, so this message can be, shouted from the rooftop. So without further ado, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.